Well, I would like to think about it as working on key pre-standardization work. Policy and governance issues are often the subject and even the province of legislation and regulation, and where regulators and legislators step in, that also reduces the scope for standardization. But when we look at digital currencies, which are very much a moving target and an innovation, quite a lot of regulatory and legislative work hasn't taken place yet and may not take place. And so there's a lot of scope for standardization in this area. And the Policy and Governance Working Group aims at identifying the different policy and governance subjects that emerge out of digital currencies, tries to identify principles for them, and that way present a menu and suggestions for areas which should be subject to standardization. So the Policy and Governance Working Group looks at the different policy and governance issues that emerge out of digital currencies. And actually, these are all the issues that you would also often and typically would find in legislation. Questions of privacy and digital identity, issues of money laundering and know your customer, which have both a regulatory dimension and legislative dimension, but also have very much a technical dimension, like how do you technically solve for that? Other questions of focus are interoperability, which also is a policy and governance issue as much as it is I would say, a technical issue. Financial inclusion is a very important topic because digital currencies hold a lot of promise to enhance and increase financial inclusion, especially for the unbanked and people without traditional identities. And then we also have questions of competition and consumer protection. So those are, I would say, the main topics addressed in the policy and governance work. And this is for all digital currencies. That said, members seem to focus mainly on digital currencies that are based on distributed ledger technology and on blockchains. And they also show a very, very big interest in emerging and recently launched central bank digital currencies, which are just one type of digital currency.